Basically, the issue that we ran into is there is a certain number of languages that are supported out of the box in the portal, and also you can't do like custom languages in the portal. So if you're doing like a certain number of languages or like specific dialects, things like that, the portal doesn't handle that. So this is where our solution came in. So at the base of it, a lot of this, when you're on the portal side, it is pretty dev heavy. It's relying on JavaScript string replacement, basically. So I can show you guys kind of our basic setup and then kind of what we're looking to improve this next time. So let's look at the portal first. So I think they're trying to get up towards like 200 languages. But in their dev portal here, we just have like 5, right? But I think in their actual portal, they're above 100 languages now. So it defaults to English, but when you come here to the portal, you can switch it to a different language. And depending on what we actually have translated, yeah, there we go. So we have some string translation happening here. We've got some up here. Anything that's not translated at this point, I think it just does not actually have a translation in the system yet. So that's what it looks like in the portal. You notice it does kind of take a few seconds depending on the speed of everything, but we are also like caching these translations. So if I refresh the page here, it happens almost instantly. So the idea is when they kind of come here and for the first time and they switch their language, at that point, it's going to load all the translations up for them and make it nice and speedy going forward. So that's what it looks like in the portal, and then I'll show you guys some of the kind of the custom tables we have. So I made like this translation management app for them in this case. So we have what we call portal display strings. These are basically like, okay, what are the labels or text that we need to actually translate in the portal? And then this field right here is a jQuery selector. It's basically, okay, where in the portal do we need to replace the text? So basically, like as you're building this out, you would add a row for like each label that you need, and then you kind of come here and you do have to dive into the dev tools, but you actually just come here and you copy this selector here. So as you're kind of building this up, it is a lot of kind of tedious copying and pasting for those, but once they're in there, this is where it knows to replace your text. And then related to these, if we actually open one up, we have string translations as child records. So that would be, okay, now per language, what is the translated text that we need to replace it with? So yeah, that's the bulk of the solution are these 2 records. And then from there, I know we tried doing some different filters to try and make things faster. And let's see. Yeah, so this is the list of, these are like the out of the box languages, but we have our own custom list of languages. I'm trying to remember where those are. Oh, right here. Yep. So like here, they have 730 languages in here. So theoretically, that's what they could have supported in the portal if they needed that many. And then, yeah, there are some other details here, but I guess so far, do we have any questions or input on this? I will say this like the translation management app, we actually the client had built it for another project and we sort of took what they had and piggybacked off of it a little bit. So that's why we're trying to kind of start from the ground up on this next project to optimize it a little bit, but we're going to take the same basic approach, I believe. So the hope is we can reuse this for those that need it. I guess, yeah, the last piece of this that I didn't really touch on is how the translations as are actually working. So it's all custom JavaScript on each page that you need it on. So you can see like, okay, we're querying for these different records that we looked at here. Um, in certain cases, we're checking for their role just so we don't have to grab as many records at a time. And it's basically just taking whatever this text is that's translated and it sticks it in its place. So that's basically it.